How's it going, everybody? Chaoticmeatball here, and welcome back to the FireRed LeafGreen 386 Challenge Series. Just as a quick side note, I apologize for not having the Crystal Professor Oaks Challenge up just yet. I had to step away from the channel for a few days to recharge my batteries, since I don't usually take weekends. But now, there will be a back-to-back Professor Oaks Challenge both this Wednesday and next Wednesday, so I bet you guys are going to be excited for that. Also, make sure to subscribe. 76% of my viewers aren't subscribed, and it really helps out the channel. Anyway, with that aside, Togepi's a bit of a strange one. It has pretty decent defenses matched with a workable special attack as well as a decent level up moveset, getting things like Yawn, Ancient Power, and Double Edge for status, coverage, and stab respectively, and has a decently diverse TM list, able to get things like Water Pulse, Solar Beam, Return, Psychic, Shadow Ball, Shockwave, Flamethrower, Fire Blast. There's a lot of great collections of moves here, but of course, we don't start with anything concrete like that. Once I picked up Togepi, which I replaced Charmander with, since I figured Blastoise would be the hardest to take down, this was due to the fact that I can either use a 60 power super effective move in Shockwave, or a 120 power super effective move that takes 2 turns in Solar Beam, so it's basically the same thing. Whereas I could use Ancient Power for Charizard to take advantage of a 4x weakness, and Venusaur is weak to a 90 power, 95 power, and 120 power move, with that being Psychic, Flamethrower, and Fire Blast respectively, all of them being 1 turn. Enough about how I'm going to take down the rival at the end. Togepi is at least better than Igglybuff from last time, but it doesn't start with a regular attacking move, instead having Metronome, which of course means I get completely random moves that are used off of it. So this fortunately worked out in the first rival battle though, since he started with Squirtle and I managed to get Endeavor, Cut, missing, Headbutt, and Air Cutter to finish it off. I'm kinda lucky I didn't get any moves like Self-Destruct, Explosion, Memento, or anything like that that just kills off Togepi instantly. And it's definitely gonna be a bit of a worry for the first few battles of this challenge. And by first few, I mean a ton of them, since our first attacking move that we'll be getting is Ancient Power at level 21. So chances are, I'll either be getting Mega Punch after Mount Moon first, but I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. I actually lost a bunch of times to the trainer in the Viridian's Forest. I legitimately lost over 10 times to this bug catcher, optional bug catcher mind you, because of either getting poisoned, not having enough power points for Metronome, or a mixture of both. I even tried the optional rival battle several times because I wanted to get that experience, and only having to take on 2 Pokemon makes it a bit easier, especially because they both can't poison me. But I just kept going down until I got an attempt where I got Rollout and didn't miss, taking out the entirety of his team in 4 hits. With that though, I just went back up through the forest and hit up the Pewter City Gym at level 12, where I also had Sweet Kiss to take advantage of just in case I ran out of PP for Metronome on Brock, but I decided to go ahead and take out the optional trainer first. And I realized I needed Sweet Kiss to match along with Metronome, since I just kept missing literally over and over again with Metronome and Sweet Kiss. They're both able to get very inaccurate moves, therefore it makes it kind of hard to do any damage. So I essentially had to hope to God that his Sandshrew here would go down, and I was so close. But thanks to a ton of sand attacks, I couldn't hit the last Sweet Kiss, running out of PP and leading to the loss after so much effort. Especially after getting a lucky Sacred Fire on Geodude, which immediately burned it and let me just whittle through my other power points. The second attempt was fine after just spamming Metronome, so I didn't care, leveling to 13 and getting Yawn. This will definitely be the ultimate strategy to keep Brock down. Put him to sleep, lower his attack to the bare minimum, confuse him, and hit him with Metronome, hopefully without missing. The first attempt was actually amazing, since I managed to somehow hit his Geodude with a Fissure, though Onix was definitely being a big of a pain, since it just kept going for Bind, which Bind, mind you, does residual damage, until I somehow managed to get Rest and heal completely when I was on the verge of getting KO'd. Of course, I got crit straight after that, but after the fact I managed to get off a Fake Tears and Giga Drain back-to-back for the win and the badge. I'm sure I didn't need Fake Tears to take down an Onix with a Grass move, but I didn't really care all that much, since it at least only took 1 attempt rather than the move being completely jank. Route 3 ended up being a bit of a pain since I still need levels to get Ancient Power, but even with that, I only get 5 PP of an attack, so it's not going to be helpful aside for the coverage that a Rock-type move provides, along with the chances of Omni Boosts. I did lose a ton, of battles throughout Route 3 in Mount Moon, to the point where I was just saving in front of every trainer so that I could just roll for RNG, which makes me a bit sad. I don't like relying on those sorts of strategies to make these runs go by, but when I'm working with an inherent RNG nightmare in Metronome, I'm kind of in between a rock and a hard place. I at least managed to fight enough trainers through both areas within about an hour and a half, finally leading to my savior of the run, Ancient Power. I honestly didn't know what I wanted to replace it with, but I decided on Sweet Kiss due to it being the most inaccurate move in my arsenal, leading to the last two trainers in Mount Moon, which are pretty much the hardest ones in there. So let's go ahead and do this coin flip, and... it's heads. Helix is the winner today. Actually, I'm the winner now that I can have Mega Punch, thank you very much. It's time for Misty with this moveset. Her trainers are no problem, so let's go ahead and take her down. She's quite a pain in the bum, however, since she took over 10 attempts. Mostly because I took a ton of damage from Starmie. After all, it's a fully evolved normal type against a trash normal type with paper thin, special defense, and HP. But this one worked out, mostly thanks to a one-shot Crimp Omni boost with Ancient Power, which let me put Starmie to sleep and literally miss 2 Mega Punches in a row, which led to her confusing me with Water Pulse. But fortunately, I hit one more Mega Punch to finish off her Starmie to win the match. I don't like sliding past thanks to a bunch of luck, but when was the last time you saw a critical Omni boost Ancient Power on the same turn? That's the sort of thing I like to see in my own videos. So, Rival 2's up next, and fortunately, since I have Ancient Power, it's an easy 2-shot on Pidgeotto, though I missed once, so he was able to take out half of my HP. Decently threatening, but at least he didn't use any sand attacks to further lower my accuracy of Mega Punch and Ancient Power. Rattata goes down to a single Mega Punch, leading to a Squirtle. I guess he didn't want to sack off his Abra, but I went for Yawn to put it to sleep next turn, only getting a withdraw in the process, so I just used my last 2 Ancient Powers before hitting a Mega Punch, barely missing the KO as he woke up and hit Water Gun to leave me with 2 HP. Unfortunately, my luck is terrible and I missed my last Mega Punch and I went down. You really gain an appreciation for a return over Mega Punch once you get it, especially in these types of situations. My second attempt ended up working out, though I did get hit with Sand Attack, but I got an Omni boost with my first Ancient Power either way, so it made it easy, leading to an easy KO on Pidgeotto, Rattata, Squirtle with a 2-shot with Mega Punch, and Abra because it literally can't do anything. Though there was a lot of missing in between. Again, Mega Punch is very irritating. Let's move on now. Route 25, of course, is full of irritating hikers, so I saved in front of one of them to take him down, luckily with no problems. Usually I end up going for Water Pulse, but I didn't need it, so that was pretty nice. But with those trainers out of the way, I am able to get the SS ticket, which leads me back over to Route 6 and into Vermilion. My trade for Farfetch'd and the bike voucher completely remembered, because usually my brain doesn't work. But instead of going to the SSN first thing, I took a detour over to Route 11. But I kept getting bodied by the engineers here thanks to the steel typing of Magnemite and especially Magneton. But at least there's no need to worry since it's a regular trainer that I can just skip, even though I was being kind of stubborn. So let's go ahead and skip on over to the rival battle in the SSN, where I managed to be level 37 before challenging him, therefore giving me access to Double Edge, a 120 power, 100% accurate normal type move. So I'm super happy to have a filler move between Mega Punch and Return. This makes the rival fight here superbly easy, since having an additional 40 power is super helpful, though the recoil does make it a little bit of a risk, but not enough to not be worth it. Pidgeotto's still a better option with Ancient Power since it's a one-shot, though it got off Sand Attack. It's not all that bad though, since the accuracy offset wasn't as bad as it would be with Mega Punch. But of course, with Kadabra disabling Double Edge, I'm sort of stuck. But eventually it was let go, allowing me to take it down and leading to Wartortle, who smartly goes for 2 withdraws. He's lucky I didn't land a Double Edge after the first one, since even with 2 withdraws, I barely missed the KO, so I just used it again to finish the battle. With Cut in hand now I'm thinking about it, why don't I just skip Surge until I get Fly? I'll be much more leveled up, and it would save me a Cherry Berry that I might need to use in the future. So I just do it. There's nothing stopping me from going to Route 9 and Rock Tunnel before landing in Lavender Town. This means I have access to Return, making my life for the rest of the game a lot, and I mean a lot, easier. Well, surely grabbing the T and heading over to Saffron to grab Psychic would help me for 2/3 of Erica's team as well, but I said screw it for now, I'm heading to the Rocket Hideout. There's 2 PP-ups here in Celadon City as well, one in the city itself and one in the hideout, which gives me a ton of uses for return, but of course, the first time I use Metronome in here, I get Memento. Yep, I really need to get rid of this for Psychic. In retrospect, with all of these runs, I'm realizing just how idiotic I am when running through these, since I never seem to go for the optimal strats. I think I'm going to make the effort with Natsu in the next run to actually think and follow through. Anyway, let's get to Giovanni. Oh right, I'm losing. My strategy literally was to use Yawn and bait Metronome for some good moves, but every time I got something good, it would miss, like Rolling Kick. I'd love to see that hit Onyx, but hey, winners can't be choosers. Since I'm gonna win thanks to Leer and 3 Ancient Powers on Rhyhorn, leading to Kangaskhan. Spikes damages it a wee bit, one of the moves I got from Metronome, so I just used Yawn and went for Return, and of course he decides to throw the battle by using 2 Tail Whips. Giovanni. Gotta love his AI, but next major battle here is Erica. I didn't grab Psychic, because I'm an idiot, and I just used a Cherry Berry and one-shot my way through her Victory Bell and Tangela, leading to Vileplume, who's outsped and KO'd with Return. Togepi's cleaning house now. Of course, one-shotting at level 50 with a stab move should be a given, but I can't complain while I'm using a damn Togepi. Anyway, now that I can get Fly, but I'm thinking about it and Surge's badge gives me access to Fly. Now I think I just need to fight him after the SSN in Route 11, just so that I can use it to get to Cerulean, to get the bike, but I'm still working on the route. 12 runs in. Let's just forget about that and move on to Surge, why don't we? Of course, now that I'm level 51, I just need to use 3 returns to take out Voltorb, Pikachu, and Raichu, which somehow didn't paralyze me at all, despite there being 2 chances of static activating. That's actually the first time I remember seeing that, since I'm super unlucky with static. But with that, let's get into the Pokemon Tower. I don't have anything to take care of ghost types, so I just sacrificed Metronome, goodbye trolley move, you won't be missed, right before the rival for Water Pulse that went in. This battle's pretty standard though, since I got one-shot Pidgeotto with Return, Growlithe was Water Pulse, Execute with Return, Kadabra also with Return after a turn of both of us missing, and a one-shot Mortortle with Return. Sweet! Now for Water Pulse to sweep all of the Ghastlies and Haunters in order to take out Team Rocket, and get the Pokeflute from Mr. Fuji. With that in hand though, I decided to take the right path through routes 12, 13, 14, and 15, since I wanted to get more EXP, but I didn't want to go through both paths, unless I absolutely needed the levels. And luckily, when I went against Koga, it showed that I didn't need any more levels, since his Coughings were a one-shot, Muck is a two-shot thanks to Return and Water Pulse, even getting poisoned wasn't a problem, and if it was, I probably would have just rematched with a Pecha Berry, but I managed to win even through a Smokescreen with from Weezing, not a big deal. I got Surf afterwards, and grabbed myself a Vaporeon since I don't think I can take down Rival 5 and Sylph Company yet, which, to be honest, I haven't even touched yet. But I wanted to go after Blaine since I have Water Pulse on Togepi. I really wish I could just get Surf in and of itself, but again, I can't have everything. However, even getting through the Water Route and Pokemon Mansion, Blaine was still absolutely terrible, since I just kept going down thanks to Fire Blast, even though I could one-shot his first 2 Pokemon, and for some reason I kept missing Return. Shouldn't it be 100% accurate? Looking back at the footage and in the description over on Bulbapedia, it doesn't say anything about its accuracy being lowered or anything other than 100%, so I have no clue what's happening. Then I looked at Togepi's ability and realized it was Hustle. No wonder I have been having such a problem with accuracy throughout this run. I'm used to this thanks to Darumaka, so I thought this was introduced later on, but apparently Gen 3 has this. This ability is a boost to your attack by 1 stage, but lowers your accuracy by 1 stage as well. I can't believe I didn't notice this until just now, but after forcing myself through about 40 attempts of Blaine, yes, 40 attempts, I did end up winning, mostly thanks to some Water Pulse confusion tactics. I was able to get him to waste some full heals and not go for Fire Blast, KOing everything with half health to spare. Alright, 6 down, 2 to go, and I really gotta take out Sylph Company now, since there's nothing I can do to progress. No Sevi Islands for me, I said progression, not regression. I need to take care of those rockets. By the time I finished everything off, I was level 71 going into Rival 5, which made Pidgeot a one-shot with Ancient Power, Growlithe a one-shot with Water Pulse, Execute with Return, Alakazam with Return, though getting off a Future Sight and Calm Mind thanks to Hustle, it's kind of frustrating, which led to Blastoise. But it doesn't have piss for moves, having things like Bite and Water Gun at level freaking 40, which is absolutely atrocious. You'd think he would have gone through the Safari Zone to grab Surf by now. But let's move on to the bigger idiot, Giovanni. Nidorino's a one-shot, but shockingly Nidoqueen's a 3-shot with Water Pulse. So I just hopped over to Return, but I missed, and thanks to getting poisoned along with getting nailed with a double kick, I hit a Return after those, and fortunately Kangaskhan was a one-shot with Return, as was Water Pulse with Rhyhorn. But if they weren't, I would have lost. Hence why I kind of baited you there, but I'm sorry. Sabrina's freed from her gym, but she doesn't come out. So I went in to take her out on take out her Pokemon, so she'd actually leave and get some fresh air. Which was easy enough thanks to Kadabra being a one-shot, and Mr. Mime being a 2-shot. But Venomoth ended up being a bit irritating since I ended up hitting Return, not KOing thanks to Reflect from Mr. Mime. But it ran out, so it's an easy KO, right? No, I missed again thanks to Hustle, allowing her to confuse me and just whittle me down until I hit an Ancient Power for the KO, leading to Alakazam, who again is a one-shot with Return. Alright, one more gym to go, and the idiot AI returns for a trifecta of easy battles. But then again, it really isn't AI as much as it is me just being overleveled with the basic super effective move, leading to one-shots on Rhyhorn with Water Pulse, 2-shot on Nidoqueen, same with Nidoking, all with Water Pulse by the way, leaving the other two, Dugtrio and Rhyhorn number 2, to fall to the same fate, handing me the match on a silver platter. Alright, level 75 and coming up on Rival 6 in the league. This shouldn't be all too terrible, especially with my small collection of rare candies I've collected. Though I don't think I'm going to be going for that stretch just yet. I need some TMs. I used most of my extra money so that I could get TMs for both Shadow Ball and Flamethrower, since they're amazing moves for this point in the game, then headed to Cinnabar so that I could get some healing items and max repels, which is plenty enough for me to heal between the remainder of the battles. But that's not all. I grabbed the Max Elixir on Cycling Road before finally flying back, since it should be super useful if Hustle ends up being more of a pain than it needs to be. Alright, Rival 6 time, and he's decently high level, as to be expected, and thanks to Feather Dance I'm put down to -1 attack after Hustle, so Pidgeot's a 3-shot with Ancient Power. Rhyhorn's at least a 1-shot with Water Pulse, as is Growlithe, and Execute is basically terrible, since I missed twice with Return before getting paralyzed and 3-shotting it, leading to Alakazam. But for some reason, he just kept going for Disable and Calm Mind. But a Psychic finished me off. Guess it pays to occasionally have good spurts of AI. Of course, on the second attempt, I put Pidgeot to sleep and got the Omni Boost with Ancient Power, and put Execute to sleep so that it wouldn't be able to do anything outside of paralyzing me, and putting everything to sleep just basically helped me entirely. Since for some reason Rival 6 has no healing items, and Blastoise is still an abysmal moveset with Water Gun and Bite. But my accuracy was still complete trash and led to him using Rain Dance, but Hustle and Paralysis didn't end up being the pain of me, leading to the KO with only 10 HP remaining, winning me the fight. Not gonna lie, I thought I was gonna need to get Togepi Shadow Ball already thanks to Execute and Alakazam, but I'm sure it'll come more in handy during the champion fight. Especially when I have other stuff like Psychic to use in tandem. However, with one victory road in the bag, it's time for the league. I made a few attempts at level 80, starting with Lorelei, since I did a bit of grinding after finishing off all the trainers and some wild Pokemon, though I still have the rare candies in my bag in case things get a little too hectic. Though with this, I think I'm ready to win. Lorelei's up first here, and she leads with Dugong, so I put it to sleep as it used Hail, and thanks to Yawn getting off before it used Safeguard, it still went to sleep, allowing me to get an Omni Boost thanks to Ancient Power while KOing. Next out is Cloister, who sets up Spikes, which really isn't smart because I'm only one Pokemon. But I wasted my time with Yawn since Safeguard's still active, kinda forgot about that. But it ended up being a 2-shot with Return and Ancient Power, though it did bait the crap out of me with Protect, leading to Slowbro. I used Return to take it to red HP, leading to Amnesia and some healing, which then led to me missing. Great. Of course, she goes for Yawn because of my miss, so I went for the same next turn so that I wouldn't go down, sitting through sleep along with her before waking up first, using Return as she stayed asleep. But of course, I missed again, so here we go through the process again. Again, I woke up first, but it's still dumb. I took it out. Fourth out is Lapras, an easy 2-shot with return, leaving just Jinx, which I outspeed and KO with a single one, winning the fight. Alright, level 80 and I won against the first member, not bad at all. What is bad though is Bruno. Fairy typing doesn't exist yet, so Togepi doesn't have a resistance to it, and that means we have to deal with the same problems as we did with both Cleffa and Igglybuff. So I ended up losing over and over again. Shocking, I know, but the fact that Togepi can take down Hitmonchan with a range with return while outspeeding makes this battle a little bit more trivial on my first attempt of getting that. Hitmonlee only hits a single Brick Break and is one-shot afterwards, and Machamp misses with Cross Chop, also leading to a 2-shot. Cross Chop always seems to miss when it comes to Bruno. Then again, it usually misses for me whenever I have it, so I'm not necessarily shocked. So I just finished off his last Onix with Water Pulse, winning me the fight. However, this is the last straw for pre-rare candy Togepi. I don't think I can take out Agatha without a few new moves and levels, so I gave Togepi Psychic over Water Pulse, using all 7 rare candies I have to get to the level 88 before literally winning on my first attempt. I probably could have held off on a few rare candies, but why not just go for them along with the Click Claw to boot. She leads with Gengar, so I of course went for Psychic, evading the double team and taking it out with one shot, leading to Golbat. It confuses me, not a big deal, but I didn't hit myself, nearly one-shotting before it full restore from her, but the second one is a range, KOing and leading to Arbok. It goes for Screech, so I went for Yawn to put it to sleep since I think it's the most threatening Pokemon on our team. Somehow not hitting myself again before snapping out of confusion, and hitting 2 Psychics for the KO and leading to Gengar number 2. It barely misses the KO with Sludge Bomb, so I hit Psychic, and the Quick Claw pops for a second attack to KO, and leading to Haunter, who does outspeed, unfortunately, but it's a dummy and uses Curse instead of attacking, allowing me to steal the win with Psychic. I probably should have lost that attempt, but I will take it. First try attempts on Elite Four members are usually few and far between. After healing my PP between battles, it is time for Lance, and he's really the one I'm most worried about here, as per usual. At least Togepi can absorb and intimidate and put it to sleep, since I'm baiting for Omni Boosts, and I'm on my 7th attempt on him. I managed to get one of them before it goes down, leading to Aerodactyl. This gives me some extra defense, so I only take one minuscule wing attack before it goes down to 2 Psychics, leading to Dragonite. I went for Yawn straight away, since I expected the Safeguard, which was smart. So then I went for Ancient Power, getting a second Omni Boost before getting nailed with Outrage, leading to him falling asleep, and the team just falls to a single return each, both as Dragonite and 2 Dragonairs, leading to the final battle. I'm surprised that went as well as it did, and I'm surprised that Togepi is here before level 90. It's such a notoriously weak Pokemon, but the rival actually put up even more of a fight compared to Lance, since Feather Dance and Sand Attack just trash my entire strategy. So much so that after putting it to sleep one time, I legit missed 4 Ancient Powers in a row. It shouldn't be that bad. But I don't have anything I can do at this point to prevent him from doing both of those status moves. So again, I'm going to have to rely on Omni Boosts. And on my 23rd attempt, I finally ended up getting an attempt where I got 2 of them on Pidgeot, which is enough to offset Feather Dance, which allows me to one-shot Alakazam and 2-shot Executor after dodging a Sleep Powder, leading to Rhydon. Psychic is my best bet for damage, but I don't think it's going to be able to do much for me thanks to my Omni Boosts. So I went for Yawn, following up with my last 2 Ancient Powers on him, getting yet another boost before getting hit with Scary Face, and missing the second. Not bad, but it goes down to Psychic, leading to Arcanine. Flamethrower does absolutely nothing thanks to me being +3 in special defense, but I still can't KO too easily, so I heal Locker before missing the Psychic, but I end up getting a Quick Claw pop and critical all in the same turn, which offset the miss and led to his last Pokemon, Blastoise. It sets up Rain Dance, allowing me to hit Psychic, which lets my Quick Claw pop one more time, KOing and winning the match with near full HP. That fight was absolute bonkers. I don't think I've ever gotten more than 2 Omni Boosts with Ancient Power in a single round of PP, but I can definitely say that I should have invested my PP ups in Ancient Power to make it easier to get even more, though I'm really happy with getting 3 out of 5. Anyway, let's look at that there leaderboard, and I'm not surprised that Togepi is near the middle. It gets great moves, but it doesn't have good stats, but with a time of 10:52, it's pretty good. However, next time with Natu, I don't see this run being much of a challenge at all, since Psychic Flying is a heck of a pairing. But will it be as good as Chinchou? Well, find out next time. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching, and make sure to hit that subscribe button so that we can get the non-subbed viewership percentage from 80% to 60% before the end of the month. And while you're at it, I really appreciate it if you hit that like button and turn on notifications so that you'll be shown when these videos are going live and when premieres are going down, since I like to chat with you guys as we watch the run together. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next time.